Hello, kids. It's Dr. Iris, and you guessed it, I'm still super excited to share today's lesson with you. The title, The Fire Comes. Let's get started. Kids, what are some things you can't live without? I know one. As a kid, what is the one thing you can't live without in church? You know that thing that you play games on? That thing you watch your favorite cartoons and movies on? When did video games become more important than listening to and focusing on the powerful Word of God? Well, in this lesson, we're going to talk about King Ahab and how he lost focus. King Ahab was so focused on worshiping a false god that he lost focus of the real God, our Father. Well, you know what worship is? Worship is a form of thanks. It is essentially the response of our hearts to the truth of who God is and what He has done for us. Well, how can we worship God if we are focused on something else? How could King Ahab worship God if he was focused on a false god? Something had all of his attention when his attention should have been on God. Well, in this story, we're going to learn about Ahab and how he lived his life as a king of Israel. Well, he wasn't a really good king, kids. Why? Because again, he prayed to a false god named Baal. He asked Baal to bring rain, but rain never came. So when the people cried out that they were hungry, Ahab had no response. Well, the prophet Elijah, remember Elijah from the story? God always watches over us. Well, Elijah had a message from God. He told Ahab that because he worshiped Baal instead of the one true God, rain would not come. And you guessed it, Ahab was angry. So Elijah came up with a plan to show Ahab that God was the only one that deserved praise. Elijah told Ahab to gather all 850 prophets of Baal at the temple. Then they prepared two offerings, one for God and one for Baal. Elijah said that the prophets of Baal should pray to him, and Elijah would pray to God. Whichever one was able to light the offering on fire was the one true God. The prophets of Baal prepared an altar and prayed to Baal all day. But kids, you already know nothing happened. Well, Elijah prepared his altar to God. Oh yeah, something was about to happen. Once the altar was ready, he poured water all over it. He poured water over the altar 3 times to show that it was completely drenched. Then Elijah prayed and asked God to light the altar on fire. And it worked. God sent fire all over the altar. Everybody say, fire was all over that thing. Ahab and the prophets of Baal knew that God was real. They learned they should serve him. So what's the escape lesson, kids? Well, we have to escape those things that keep us from the Word of God. Cell phones in church, people who tell us our God does not exist, that He is not the one and true God. These are all things that take our focus off of the goodness of God. We have to escape the idea that there is anything more important or bigger than our God. Cell phones aren't more important. Video games aren't more important. TV isn't more important. Nothing is more important than God. So kids, let's make 2022 the year where we escape those things that get more attention than God. God deserves our undivided attention and our true worship, our true thanks. And the only way we can give it to Him is to turn our focus completely on Him. How you doing, kids? Are you ready to put down those cell phones during church? I think you should. Hey, start out slow. Maybe don't take out your cell phones during worship time, that time when you give thanks to the Lord for all that you have and for giving you life, for waking you up this morning. Think about it, kids. Slow steps. But remember, this year is the year of escaping all of those things that prevent us from a full relationship with God. That's what we need, kids, so we can be super kids in the name of God. All right, kids, listen, I am Dr. Iris, and I thank you for tuning in to this lesson about the fire and about escaping all those things that keep us from true worship for our God. All right, kids, have a great day, and remember, I love you, and it's the year of the